Hey guys, welcome to Spectator Mode, run by the gaming Collegian. My name's Ethan.
I'm Spencer.
And today we're just going to talk about Counter-Strike for a little bit. We're going to be talking about the esports scene. Spectator Mode here is the esports podcast for the gaming Collegian. So we have a bit of a schedule going on here. So we're gonna talk about first the StarLadder Major. So what kind of happened with that, what we think of it, and we're gonna go through all of the post-major roster changes, the big ones. We're gonna go over a couple other things if we get to it. But first, let's start with the major. So what kind of surprised you a little bit?
I mean, obviously Liquid getting out. Who would have thought that they were going to get out that early?
In the quarterfinals.
Thorin thought they were going to win. Like, come on.
Yeah, everyone thought they were going to win.
And Astralis beat them 2-0.
Yeah, and it wasn't really that close. The Vertigo pick.
Oh, awful. I mean, who would have thought that would have happened? Because last time Liquid played, they were down 11-4, and they came back and won at, I think it was ESL 1 Cologne.
I think it was Cologne, maybe.
Yeah, at ESL 1 Cologne. It was a nuts game.
Yeah,
but
and I saw a video by the War Owl that that talked about how the Vertigo pick might have been the greatest counter strat in Counter-Strike history, because Liquid were undefeated on that map, and he went over sort of how they played the map on their T side. I think he was saying that they were very, very passive, even though Liquid were not putting any aggression into it. They played extremely passive and just slowly worked sites. But when they hit a site, because Vertigo is so small and it's so vertical, you can hear when people are rotating.
Yeah.
So they didn't really try and run any fakes. They just went hard into sites. And on their CT side, they played very, very aggressively.
Yeah.
So they played their T side in a way that would be countered by their CT side, and Liquid just didn't know how to play against it.
I don't know. I mean, Liquid, I don't know if the break just messed with their heads or what was going on, because even in group stages, I mean, going down to being 2-2, and then having to eliminate mouse sports in a 3v. I mean, they had to do 2 3v2s. That's nuts. Everyone thought they were going to just go 3-0.
Yeah, and to me, the biggest surprise was Avangard.
Oh, it's Jame time.
It's Jame time.
It's Jame time.
But making the finals, and they didn't really put much of a fight against Astralis, but I mean when they're on that level, it's hard to.
I mean, Astralis for the last 3 majors, they're 18-0 in the Legends stage.
Yeah.
No one, when they get to that top 8, it's like, all right, they win.
And just kind of going over who Avangard beat. So they lost to Ents in the group stage. Okay. They then beat Renegades in the group stage. They beat Liquid in a double overtime game in the group stage. And then the final of the group stage, they won 2-1 against G2 to go 3-1. And then they went to the quarterfinals, in which they beat Vitality 2-1, who at the time were the second best team in the world. And then they 2-0'd Renegades, which it's Renegades, so give or take.
The boys.
Yeah. And then they lost to Astralis in the finals. But Adren as well, being a previous major MVP, he's been there before. So he's got the experience.
Well, you want to talk about people you never thought to see again. I mean, when Gambit won, I think it was 2016? Yeah,
2017.
PGL, Krakow 2017.
Yep.
No one thought they were going to win. They made it to the finals with Immortals, Esports. Who thought?
Immortals, who is not really a team anymore. That
BR lineup.
That lineup isn't really a thing, and Immortals now owns MIBR. So they're both kind of dead.
Yeah, but oh no, good for them though. It's a team where you don't expect them to do as well as they do at Vanguard, but then they go in and Jame demolishes.
Yeah, and they just what did they just win?
I think it was the Blast Pro Series Moscow.
Yes, they just won Blast Pro.
So I guess it's good. Like, I know it's not a tier 1 tournament, but it's good to at least see that it's not a fluke.
Yeah, and there were some good teams
They're
there, too.
in there. Yeah, I don't remember who they beat, but yeah, there was like, it was a good enough tournament to go, okay, they're not a fluke. I think Crazy was in it, and they had a surprising run where they went
Crazy
2-3, but who did they beat?
Yeah, Crazy was in it. MIBR was there. I want to say G2 was there, but let me pull it up real quick.
They beat Navi 2-1. They beat, no, I'm sorry. Navi beat them 2-1. Astralis beat them 2-1. But they beat FaZe Clan, and they did lose to Team Liquid. But, you know, it's still a pretty impressive
Wait,
Crazy.
that's not Blast Pro. Oh, Crazy you're talking about. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Crazy and Hunter as well went from being Nico's cousin to becoming his own kind of person, like his own player that people know now, which I think is really impressive because, like, I remember seeing on the Reddit a while back, like last year, like, hey, Nico's cousin is on this team, and that was it. Like nobody knew anything about him. And then Device being a MVP, like.
I mean, it was coming.
It's hard to argue with it.
He's always the person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm waiting for the day when Astralis lose a tournament and Device wins MVP, so he finally gets the like simple.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
he'll get to simple levels.
Yeah, but no, I was a bit disappointed in Furia going 1-3 over the summer. They had the 2 finals performances. You know, just.
Oh, you mean in the new challenger stage?
Yeah.
Or the qualifier is what it used to be.
I was a bit disappointed in them.
Yeah, they didn't even make
You just like to see them play, but
yeah,
whatever.
But speaking of simple, let's kind of go over the roster changes so far. So speaking of simple, first one we're going to talk about is Zeus retired.
Yeah.
In place of him, Guardian has been taken off of FaZe, and he's going to be placed in the lineup. Yeah. And then Blade, previously of Flipside and a couple other teams, is going to be coming in as the coach to replace Kane, who I believe also stepped down.
Yeah.
So I think this lineup has major winning potential.
Oh, I think they can do it. I think so. You get Boomage in, who's going to be the new IGL, right? First off, you start off with just a new switch. You know, you got to start off new with the team. You say, okay, Zeus is a legend. The man carried the team. Carried. Well, he let other people carry him by making good calls. But like, he's a legend in 1.6, I believe. He's won his major. Like, he's a legend in this game. Made it to many finals and majors. Like, you retire, you leave on good faith. Everyone's happy. Yeah. You bring in Guardian. I know Guardian's been a little bit iffy on FaZe, which I do want to talk about in a bit.
Yes.
But I think with new leadership and better leadership than what was at FaZe, because you had Nico IGLing, which
and then Neo and whatever was going on there.
Whatever.
I think the most important thing with Guardian is that he has been on record saying that FaZe was going to be his last team.
Which is weird.
So him joining Navi might be that he got some sort of resurgence of motivation, and he might have been losing motivation in FaZe, which is why he wasn't like playing as well towards the end, and then losing, or them kicking Kerrigan as well, probably made him lose some motivation too.
I think he also said FaZe was going to be his last team because he thought he was going to win a major at the Boston Major, and then you had the C9 upset, which was absolutely nuts, but. So I think for him, he was like, well, I didn't get this. I want to win this major. He's like, I'm going to win it. I mean, at this point, it's coming. He's so good. He's such a legend. He's done so much in terms of just for CSGO to where, like, it's coming. It's just when is he going to win? And
I wouldn't be surprised if he does win a major and then retires right after.
Oh, I could definitely see that happening for him. But, I mean, you also have on Navi now, you have Electronic, who's nuts. Yeah. You have Simple, who's just
Simple.
the best player in the world.
He's the most talented player
he's
of all
simple.
time.
Like he'll never, people like just die to him. You have Boomage, who I mean, we'll see how his strat calling is. We'll see how he is. He seems to be like able to carry himself as a player in games, which I think has been hurting Navi when Zeus couldn't.
That was the big thing.
You just need that
Zeus is
one
just-
extra frag.
He's just not skilled enough.
Yeah.
I remember there was one match sometime last year or the beginning of the year where I think he had like 5 kills in like a 30-round game. And I think he got like a 1v2. And Henry G, who was casting, finally like yelled, "He finally did something," because he was just like silent the entire game.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad to see, but like he's a legend. So.
He ended on a high note. I'm excited to see where this lineup is going to go.
Yeah.
But the one that I'm honestly even more excited for, if these rumors are true, are FaZe. So we know Neo's off, who was IGL previously.
Yep.
In-game
And
leading.
Obviously, Guardian is going to Navi.
Obviously, Guardian's going to Navi. Neo, he just was not the right fit for FaZe.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I don't know. Neo, I mean, he hasn't really been good since Virtus Pro has been good. I mean, he's had the 1 or 2 off tournaments. And he's been an in-game, like they switched around the in-game leader role so many times in Virtus Pro. And he might just be washed a little bit now. I don't want to say washed, but like.
I mean, he might be hitting the Zeus thing where it's just like, you know what, you might be playing the game for a bit too long.
Yeah, might just be his time.
your time, you're a legend. Everyone respects you. You know, you were in the legendary VP lineup with Pasha, Biceps, Snags, Taz, Neo, all those
Golden
people.
Five.
Yeah, but you know, maybe it's time to call it.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'm happy about with FaZe is that it's no longer Nico in-game leading.
Yes.
Which I think is going to allow him to do his thing.
Well, let's talk about that first, because the rumors are that Cold Zera is going to join, and that Alexi B, who just recently got removed from FaZe, is going to join. But we also know Nico did an interview with HLTV in which he said that they are going to be playing the next tournament or 2 with somebody named Brokey. Now, I've never heard of this player, but Nico seems very confident in him. So I'm really not sure what to make of that. And then they still have their 5th player to get.
Yeah. So it's just some Latvian 18-year-old who's, I don't know, 1.18 rating.
I mean, has he played for any notable teams?
No, let's see here. He's played for one team, Epsilon.
Oh, Epsilon, okay.
For 184 days.
Okay.
So,
I mean, that's a well-known org, but
Yeah.
That Epsilon lineup definitely hasn't done much.
yeah, no achievements and no trophies. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm hoping the best. Even if they don't get Cold, I want them to get Alexi B.
Yeah.
I think Alexi B for this FaZe lineup is exactly what they need, and we'll be seeing them as a top 5 team contender again if you pick that up.
A fragging in-game leader who clearly can hold his own as a player.
Yeah, that's all you're gonna need. And I mean, look at Ents. Alexi B took that team to heights that no one would have expected.
Yeah.
Easy for Ents exists, partly because of everyone on Ents was sick, but Alexi B, like, he knew the strats to call. You saw, I mean, at the newest not the newest major, the newest tournament, or a tournament that I think it was Blast Pro Series Moscow. Ents lost like 16-4 to a nothing team.
Yeah.
Like, they got deleted.
Now, I'm going to give the new look Ents a few tournaments of leeway, because Alu, I don't think, has ever been an in-game leader before.
No.
And he's
It's a
really
weird move.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, and I'm not really sure about it. But who knows? Maybe the extra firepower from Sunny could be what they needed.
Yeah. You
But
have so much firepower already, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Sergey, who's nuts.
Yeah.
And
Ariel
does his thing.
He's got a high ceiling. He's only going to get better.
Oh, yeah. You had Alu, where as long as he's playing, he'll get the op kills.
Yeah.
Like, I know, haha, bot Alu, but
also God Alu.
but also got Alu for a reason. Yeah, like you have the talent there, and especially Sonny, who's nuts. He was on that Mouse Sports lineup, not the one with Kerrigan, but about a year ago from this point.
It was Chris J, Oscar, Rops, Sonny, Sticko.
Yeah, it was a sick lineup. And I mean, Sonny's a great player. He does his thing. He's consistent, which is also important.
Yeah.
So I could see that the consistently actually really helps Ents, just because Alu doesn't know what he's doing and he'll need
Maybe.
a player. Yeah, maybe. But with a new IGL, you need to go, okay, I just need to depend on everyone to do their thing. So we'll try some weird strats. It's not always going to work out, but we might be able to cheese the victory out by just getting the lucky frags. So I'm looking forward to it. Ents could be a contender, but I'm super excited for this phase lineup. They're going to be nuts.
And if Brokey is really good when he's standing in for them, they might not need Coldzera.
No.
Because they might have a good dynamic there already, that extra firepower.
Get young talent.
Get young talent. And that was the thing that that they didn't like with Kerrigan, was that he's a good in-game leader, but he, a little bit in the Zeus vein of things, he just didn't frag enough for Nico's liking at the very least.
Well, until the Boston Major.
Yeah.
In the finals,
but from then on they were just they weren't the same.
No, they got deleted. Everything changed.
Yeah. So let's kind of go over the whole the new French shuffle. As there always is after every major.
Yeah.
So G2 have been confirmed they're taking out Shocks.
Yeah.
And at the very least for now, Kiyoshima is standing in.
Thank goodness.
I'm glad Kyo finally has a team.
For like 3 weeks, he's going to be kicked out because Kyo's the problem.
He is the problem.
It's unfortunate. I don't know. I mean, we haven't really seen G2 do anything. There was that one ESL tournament in France or something.
No, I want to say it was IEM Sydney. In Australia.
Okay.
Because they made the finals there, I believe.
Yeah, but they had some really sick run, but that was over the summer when Liquid had an even more insane run.
Yeah.
And, they did something there, but they've really done nothing.
Yeah.
And I guess with Kyo, when he played on C9, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
He was one of the more consistent members, along with Tim.
That lineup was a complete mess.
And
so even the games that he wasn't very good, like any of those players.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna give them a free pass because
they're getting passes for sure. But I'm just saying, even in those bad situations, Kyo was still able to at least do something.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this G2 lineup is good.
Yeah.
You never know. For all we know, it could explode in the next 2 weeks because
it's a French team.
French CS, it just happens.
Yeah.
The one that I'm actually more interested in is Vitality.
Yeah.
With NBK and Shocks.
Potentially Shocks.
Yeah, potentially Shocks. But
him being removed from G2, it's almost certain that Vitality is going to pick up Shocks. I'm not sure about this one either because Shocks, since he took the in-game leader role on G2, he hasn't really been the same player that he was in 2015, 2016 when he was top of the world, some of the best in the some of the best players in the world. And then the rest of Apex hasn't really been playing very well. RPK hasn't really been playing very well. And then at the major, ZywOo didn't play very well.
ZywOo didn't do anything.
And it's very possible that was just first major.
Yeah.
Nerves.
Was he at the other major, the one earlier this year? Yeah.
I don't know. I actually don't know. But
I don't think they made very far though, so it doesn't matter.
Either way, I think they made Legends. I think they made quarters.
They made Legends?
I think so.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But it could have just been we're the number 2 team in the world, sorry. Going into this major, we have a chance to upset and win it. And it just could have been nerves.
Yeah. I mean, that whole lineup, it's the French Liquid for me back in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
When Simple was on Liquid and it was the Simple show.
Yeah.
Where he carried them all the way to the quarterfinals before the then Luminosity team, the legendary BR team, ended up winning, and then the next major when they turned into SK, and they lost in the grand finals. But again, I mean, Simple just did his thing where he just goes in, he shoots people, he gets the kills, he wins the rounds.
Yep.
Like, Sasha, go kill, right? And that's
The team.
that's what ZywOo
The
is right
team
now.
was Simple.
Yeah, and that's
And
really what.
now for Vitality, the team is ZywOo.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I feel like getting some more firepower in there would help a lot. NBK also did help with the in-game leading, which
Yeah.
Shocks
He could.
can help. But the question is, how well is he going to be able to do that?
Yeah.
Considering that G2 really did not pan out, both lineups in the past 2 years that they've had were not very good.
Yeah. Well, because you had that, I think it was like a year ago or a year and a half ago when it was like, oh, the French,
dream team.
Yeah, like
It
the
was
French
the
CS is
2017.
back. Yeah, and then they just did nothing.
Yep. That was Body, NBK, Shocks, Kenny S, and Apex.
Probably Apex. Yeah.
Yeah. And they had 1 or 2 tournament wins that were really big.
Yeah.
They won one of the ESL Pro League finals against North, who were very good at the time. They were a very big upset team, especially. People were just kind of wondering when they were going to break through. Oops. But we'll see if Shocks is kind of relieved of in-game leading roles a little bit, which happened in G2 as well when Almanac came in.
He has to be. I mean, like, Alex is the IGL. He's been consistent enough, and I don't think he's good enough of a player to just be a player on his own. He has to IGL.
Yeah.
Whereas Shocks, if he shows up, he's a good enough player to just be a player. I could see him picking up those secondary calls, but honestly, I say give it to someone like RPK or someone who isn't as impactful, so that then those other things that you're worrying about, you say, you know what, RPK, you're not getting the frags that you need to, or you're not as good as Shocks, or you're not entry like Apex.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Now,
You'll secondary call.
The question with RPK is that, does he want to, and is he
can
capable
he?
of in-game leading?
It's a lot of ifs, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the whole French shuffles tend to be, is what if?
What happens?
So, like, who knows if Almanac is going to be able to fully in-game lead. Keo can help out. He helped call in Cloud9 and in Envy when he was there for like 3 weeks when that roster fell apart.
Yeah.
But he actually helped them have decent tournament placings when he joined them.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of going to be random almost for the
Yeah.
French lineups, as it typically is.
Who gets along this month?
Yeah. I think one of the bigger ones to talk about is going to be Fnatic as well.
I'm so excited.
They are
Let's go,
completely
Flusha.
rebuilding their lineup,
Yeah.
taking out Exist and Twist, and adding Flusha and Golden back into the lineup.
Nuts.
Who were the 2018
Yeah, they were there
Fnatic?
for 2018.
Yep.
They won the major, or not the major.
Not the major, they
had
won
one big tournament. I think it was
Katowice.
Katowice.
It was
the
Katowice
IM
2018.
Katowice 2018.
Yep.
That was a pretty big win for them.
Yeah,
But
and they beat, I want to say it was Astralis in the grand
no,
finals.
it was FaZe.
Was it FaZe?
Because it was, Astralis lost to FaZe in the grand finals of one of those big IEM tournaments. Because FaZe was like supposed to win all of these, and then the one they weren't supposed to win, they won. It was like, oh, okay.
But I remember Flusha having 2 monster aces.
Oh my gosh, yes. Where it was just like, we were watching it together. And
he was 1v4,
it's just-
1v5.
He's hacking.
Yeah.
Like, Flush is cheating. He's so smart. The man's insane. Senior Vac, like,
Senor Vac.
he's just, like, that's another player, Flusha, where he's just a legend.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where Golden will go. He had, well, they obviously won that big tournament, so it proves that Golden can call.
I
guess
was
it
not
depends on
really-
can he evolve.
I was not really a huge fan of when they removed him in the first place.
Yeah. Why?
Because they were doing pretty well. They were having good results. They just kind of fell off a little bit.
No.
And their first instinct was to kick the in-game leader. And that wasn't really, in my mind, a good move. Exist, who knows where he's going to go. He hasn't really been good for a while.
Was Golden having his health problems at the time? Because when he was on C9, he had health problems.
It was when he was on Cloud9.
Okay.
And then, obviously, Flusha can help call. He was calling in Cloud9 when Golden was sick.
No.
So who knows? I think this is going to be a good lineup. I think this is going to be a top 10 lineup.
Yeah.
They have, and Brolin is nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, JW, Crims.
JW's always been nuts. Crims has always been consistent.
He's been pretty good for the last little bit. So.
For the last few years, he's been really consistently good.
No, I say this lineup's going to be good.
Yep.
I guess out of all the ones we've talked about today, I think I'm most excited for FaZe. I want to see Alexi B on a different team.
Yes.
And I'm excited for whoever they pick up. So if they get coldzera, who knows? Maybe we could see him return to some old form.
Or maybe Brokey's.
Yeah, or maybe Brokey's just nuts and he just deletes kids.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
so
sick.
We've only got a couple minutes left. The last one I want to go over really quickly is MIBR, who obviously coldzera has stepped down, and they're bringing in KNG. They've been playing the last couple of tournaments with Zeus.
Yeah.
I don't really see this going anywhere.
MIBR, I really think they just got to take like a 2 or 3 month break and go back to the drawing board. I mean, I think I saw someone say they've played like 14 or 15 maps. In the last 14 or 15 maps for Inferno, they've won 2.
Yeah.
Like, they're just kind of far behind. They're not there right now. You have 2 new players. You have, is it Lucas?
Lucas, yep.
Yep, Lucas
and
KNG. You have Fur, you have Fallen, you have Taco.
Yeah.
Take it a step back, go back to the drawing board, create these new strats.
I think
these
Fallen
new
needs
ideas.
to kind of reinvent himself a little bit.
He does. I don't think he can be as aggressive of an opper as he can. He needs to play a bit more passively.
I can see that.
And because of that, I think he's just gonna have to really focus on saying, all right, I'm not number 2 in the world. I'm not the star player with Cold anymore. I gotta let my star players do their thing. I'm gonna IGL.
Yeah.
I want to see them do well. I mean, they're just the old legends at this point, you know. You're never sad if Fallen wins, right? Or if Taco or Fur wins, you know, you love them. But I don't know. They have done nothing to impress me in the last year.
Yeah, and I don't think they did very well at Moscow either.
No.
First tournament with KNG, but so I'm gonna give them a little bit.
Yeah, obviously, first tournament, it's just you can see where their heads are at more than anything.
And I'm glad that KNG is getting a second chance as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully he learns from his previous mistakes. That's all I'm gonna say there.
Yeah.
But he has the potential to be a very good player, and he's a lot more aggressive than Cold is. So I think that can help out a little bit.
Maybe that's what they need.
Yeah.
I just don't know what they need at this point. What can make them good?
Exactly.
And a team that's going to be winning again.
Yeah.
Because they can't, you're not, like, you can't depend on the pure talent of your players alone anymore, because Fallen is not going to be someone like Naf at opping anymore, or Device or Simple at opping. He's no longer the best opper in the world. So you have to go back, to the drawing board. Fur is no longer as nuts as he is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope they do well.
It's definitely a big question mark,
Who knows?
though. But unfortunately, that's going to be all the time that we have today. If you want to watch more, go to thegamingcollegian.com, go to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter at Gaming Collegian. Thank you, and tune in next time.